All right. Shalom to the nation of Israel. First and foremost, before I get into my lesson, I want to start off giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah, Quadash. Secondly, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that teach and rule well today. And salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry, pushing the word of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, in all truth and sincerity, day in and day out. Shalom. I'm the brother Shaquat Gabar from the Great Millstone, South Carolina Maintenance Branch, coming at you with another quick lesson. And as always, before I get into my lessons, these videos or this message goes out to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which we are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible, and also to the Israelite foreigners that are scattered amongst the heathen nations and that may take on the typical look of another nation. But if your bloodline goes back to Negro, Latino, or Native American descent by the seed of your father, you are considered an Israelite as well. So once again, shalom to you brothers and sisters that scatter worldwide, that's in the faith and exalting the names of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Shalom. So basically, I'm just going to get into a quick lesson, touching on end time prophecy, as what we're about to experience, and that Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai have his men out here constantly giving that warning of what's to come when it comes to the judgment of the Lord, because that's where we're about to enter into, And as we can see, if you're paying attention, we're coming to the time of civil unrest, especially here in America, which America is known as Babylon the Great in the scriptures, which is being ruled by the biblical Edomites, mainly starting with the elites of Esau, Edom, on down to the lesser luminary ones that's involved in this government, And as you can see lately, you're seeing more and more civil unrest brewing, between these American patriots going up against their government, which majority of them are so-called white people, Edomites. And that's a clear indication of a sign that their kingdom is going down, here in America, And recently where you had, these Trump supporters, such as the right wing and the Proud Boys, it's all in the uproar now due to what happened recently in the past couple of days, where you had supposedly the FBI raided one of Donald Trump's homes, I believe it was in Florida, looking for documents and all that, but that just show you that if they can do that to the former president, how much more when it comes to the time of martial law and strict legislations, to come against the American citizens. And now you're starting to see these American Edomites, or these patriots, Edomites, starting to take a stand, to fight against this government, man, And you can see also about the talks about Alex Jones with the whole situation where he went to trial over the Sandy Hook incident, And basically he lost the trial and he had been charged with paying, I believe, like $4.5 million to the victim families, due to over false allegations and false narratives, and that going into how they basically want to attack anybody that come against their agenda, because we know about a lot of these events such as Sandy Hook and other incidents that took place in the past and recently, that a lot of them are staged, but it all points toward that they're about to attack the freedom of speech and also the right to bear arms, the Second Amendment, and now you're starting to see the counteract, the outcome of that, behind that, these American patriots ready to take up arms and go against their government. As you can see that too in the polls lately. Okay, that majority of the American citizens willing to start a civil war to the so-called contain their rights. So I'm gonna go ahead and play a couple of videos that I have queue up, and I'm gonna start off with the first video, which is 10 minutes long, from the brother, the up and coming elder Karatazak from the GMS Vegas sit downs. Okay, that put up this video recently going into the civil unrest, man. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into it and pray that this lesson be edifying.
Tonight, outrage from right-wing groups and Trump-aligned Republicans after federal agents searched the former president's Mar-a-Lago residence in Florida.
So I think every Republican believes that the FBI, when it comes to Trump and other organizations, have lost their mind.
Some of Trump's online supporters going as far as threatening to wage a civil war, while elected officials are promising revenge on the Department of Justice and FBI. Republican Arizona Representative Paul Gosar tweeting that he will support a complete dismantling and elimination of the FBI, an agency headed by a Trump appointee, Christopher Wray. House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy adding that, quote, when Republicans take back the House, we'll conduct immediate oversight of the Justice Department. The strong reaction from Trump allies coming after FBI agents executed a court-authorized search warrant at the former president's private residence. Trump, who wasn't present during the raid, claiming the agents broke into his safe.
To have a warrant, you need justification, and that says that no one is above the law.
Sources tell ABC News the unprecedented raid was part of an investigation into Trump's alleged mishandling of classified documents. But some legal and national security experts think the investigation might be broader.
I would be surprised if at the end of the day we learn this was simply an effort by the FBI to retrieve records. There probably is something much more significant there.
Trump seen in New York Monday ignoring shouted questions, but in a statement calling the raid a political assault, some of the online rhetoric approaching levels not seen since the January 6th Capitol attack.
We are seeing mainstream public figures in the media and in elected office who are mimicking some of the language on these extremist forums, and they are
And that's one thing too. Recently that happened about a year ago. Okay, going on 2 years now about the whole January 6th stampede of the Capitol. Okay, that they say that Trump was behind, but when that came out, been all type of loopholes involving that. And recently, you just had the trial of that incident. Okay, and that take part into what leading up to this so-called FBI raid involving Trump. Okay, but it all ties into how they really want to come with more strict legislations and lockdowns, man. Okay, and majority of these people, especially these patriotic American Edomites, are starting to see that. So I'm gonna continue on.
Fuel on a raging fire.
And we're told President Biden and the White House had no prior knowledge of this authorized search and that this wasn't the first time federal agents visited Trump's home. In Washington, Faith Abube, ABC.
Here's the other requirement. Be willing to use deadly force if necessary. Joining me now is Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie of the Judiciary Committee. Congressman, the press is trying to spin this. The Biden administration's narrative is horrible. This has completely backfired on them this week. But I get the sense that this is just the beginning of what we're going to see with this agency being turned against the American people.
Yeah, and not just this agency. What a lot of people may not realize is last week, the Democrats, through our Judiciary Committee, passed a ban on the AR-15. They call it a weapon of war, but they made sure that their ban exempted every federal department, including the IRS, the Department of Education, and the USDA. So you got to put that in the context of now this week, tomorrow, we're going to be voting to add 87,000 IRS agents to the rolls. And then taken with this website, and like you showed, look, they got caught. They had this on their website. I went and looked at the Internet Archives. They put it up since Biden became president, that you must be willing to do deadly force, to exert deadly force. And they just took it down yesterday because they got caught recruiting that way. And by the way, Laura, I've talked to people who've spent their life in law enforcement. They said this is the last thing you would put in a job posting. You get the wrong kind of people. If you say you want to kill people, join us.
And you see that, okay? The former militias groups, okay, as they just said, man, the RIS, wanted to ban the carry of the AR-15, okay, but when it comes to certain individuals as agents, okay, they are allowed to to use deadly force, okay. Then they got caught now supposedly, okay, as this man make mention, now they basically reneging, man, okay, backtracking, man, okay. But it shows towards that they're ready to come after the people, guns, okay, and at the meantime, aid their certain servants, government, militaries with firearms, okay?
I mean, the Border Patrol can't even use deadly force pretty much, right? So Border Patrol, no, but the IRS, yes. That's a twisted world we're living in. Now, the new ATF director actually sat down with CNN today. Watch this.
He sat down with CNN to discuss the litany of threats his agents are trying to counter from coast to coast, including a rise in violent domestic extremism.
I think the first thing we need to do is to be honest about the fact that we have a problem. But I will tell you, it's gotten more bold, more brazen, and more violent.
Your response to that, we apparently have a massive domestic terror problem in the United States, and they all just happen to be Trump supporters. Congressman.
Yeah, we've asked the DOJ about this. The DHS actually put out a bulletin that said that if you do certain things, like you deny things about the vaccine, that you may be a violent domestic terrorist, or it's crazy.
You should lock your hope, then that go through, man. You can't really say that word. You got to be pacific now, okay? Because they're ready to, take your video down. But I'm gonna continue on.
Crazy. Maybe you grow your own food. Now you're going to be labeled as such. It's crazy what can put you on this list, and I think it's dangerous.
Well, it's time to defund the agencies that are targeting the American people. That's what we're going to be expecting of Congress when Republicans take over. Congressman, you've been a beacon. Thank you.
Well, hey, don't mind me. Just getting ready for my IRS audit. I know this is about to come. Listen, I'm just like you. I've seen what happened to Trump. Yeah, it's go time. Everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about. The Democrat Nazis have gone too far. Just look at what they've said in the Senate in the past. Look at all the ammunition the IRS is buying up. Look at the new classification they come out with the MBEs. I fit that description quite nicely. Yeah, if you followed me on my other account, follow me on this one as well. Don't let them shut me up. Every time I come across one of you who have lost your account due to the Democrat Nazis on the Democrat Nazi app, I follow you.
So the FBI raided Trump's house in Mar-a-Lago, huh? What are you going to do when the government comes knocking on your door asking for your guns, people? I know us here in the South, we ain't going back down. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Please come and try. You might get a surprise on what you see. But it's time to band together, Americans, because shit's about to get nasty. Just a matter of when. I got a feeling it's going to be real soon. But I'll be the first to tell you I'll stand up and fight for any one of my Americans. Love y'all. Be strong. Let's get it.
Good morning, TikTok. Nothing funny about this post. HR 4350 is a bill in the House that they have already passed. It lets the Democrats put Biden as a dictator over military and everything, which means Biden will go into martial law. When we go into martial law, they're only coming after conservatives and people trying to save America. This is no longer a joke. There's nothing funny about this. We have got to wake up and fight. Fight like you've never fought before. I will go out in a blaze of glory before I turn against my Heavenly Father or before I turn against this country. Know that.
Hey, Patriots. Yeah, and that's the thing. The Most High ain't dealing with this country, man. Okay, he dealing with it all right to bring destruction to it. And we starting to witness that. Okay, and these Edomites are starting to see that. Okay, how their own government is coming against them. Okay, and that one thing you starting to, you see here on this clip, you seeing Edomites, talking about how they're going to take a stand against their own government because they see what's coming down the pipe. Okay, but you don't see them Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay, because they're not acquiring, man. They're not paying attention to what's happening. Okay, their mind frame is set up in folly. Okay, being distracted by entertainment, doing all type of wickedness that's against the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, not considering the prophets or the times that we're about to enter into, known as Jacob's trouble. Okay, but these Edomites, man, majority of them, they're prepared to what's going to come when it comes to that civil unrest, man. Okay, when the Lord put the spirit on these elites on down to the less illuminated ones to move forward with their agenda, backing it up by strict legislations, and also coming with the sword, man. Okay, which is their blessing, their military might. Okay, and these average American Edomites that got guns, okay, which that's their blessing as well. Okay, they're gonna stand, and you hear what they say, stand together and band together to fight, okay, for their country, okay, which they stole, by the way, okay, due to their forefathers. But this is the time where, as that saying, the chickens coming home to roost, okay, if I say it right, okay, going into the time of this place destruction. And once again, it's a clear indicator when you seeing the division of the American system, okay, when it comes to these Edomites, man. So I'm gonna continue on.
Standing by. Thank God I seen your video this morning, because I would have totally forgotten. See, here in Kentucky, a strange thing is happening too. Look at that phenomenon up there. It's where the sun, it kind of hazes behind the clouds. That's exactly what happens when it's time to take over the fucking government.
Hypothetical question. If Chinese and Russian troops started falling out of the sky, how about a hypothetical second option? What if the American people are in the process of overthrowing the tyrannical government that our government has become, and Russia starts making air supply drops to, fortify the American militias? Just saying. China's not going to do it, because the people we got in office right now, yeah, they're in China's pocket. So they're not going to help. But Putin told us to keep our guns. He said the Second Amendment was a good thing. So, I'll leave that right there.
All right, kid.
Fuck all you fake-ass motherfucking politicians and all your fucking bullshit. As far as I'm concerned, it's a wild, wild west, motherfuckers. Let's get it on.
Y'all know what? I'm almost 62 years old, and I admit that I've thought about different ways I might die throughout my life. Different scenarios, different diseases, different things. But there's one thing that I can assure you never crossed my mind, and that is that I might die engaged in some sort of battle with my fellow men. Never gave it any thought till now.
Hey, so you see what's brewing, man. Okay, these Edomites, these average American, pride, died hard, patriots, Edomites, ready to take a stand against their own government, man. Okay, and they deadly serious about it too, man. Cause we're in that time, man. And in the process of that, man, besides civil war, okay, you're gonna have race wars, okay, clash wars. The majority of our people, they're gonna feel the major effect of it, man. Okay, when the Lord start this bloodbath, man. Okay, when all hell break loose, man. Okay, and that's going to be for the 2/3 of our people, man. The wicked Israel, or you Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and those that descended out of that bloodline. Okay, but for the elect, us, the hopeful elect, Yahweh Shema Shah is going to be the cover for the 144,000 and the 1/3. Okay, as the Lord say also, that part of that Jacob's trouble, he shall be saved out of it, and that he going into the elect. Okay, through the mayhem and the chaos that's about to break loose, man. Okay, so I'm gonna finish playing this out, and I'm gonna play about like 2 more, and I'm gonna get some scriptures. Yeah, that's and I'm gonna get another one. Hey, right now, hey, check this one out. This going on over there in Dutch. Okay, as they going through civil unrest with their government. Okay, as you got parts of the with governments that taking over parts of the farmers' land. Okay, and now they're protesting and rallying. Okay, but here, while they was out there protesting, a bunch of policemen, okay, or the law enforcement that was standing guard, you had some farmers came up, okay, with their whatever tractor vehicle they have, spraying hay and manure on them, man. Okay. Yeah, so you're starting to see things happening worldwide, man. Okay, because I just went into the video that basically touching on American Edomites ready to take a stand against their own government, but you got frictions also amongst these other countries, man. Okay, over there in Europe. Okay, Dutch is over there in Europe. Okay, which they're Edomites, man. Okay, that's ruling over there. Okay, through the EU system. Okay, the European system. Okay, they're going through civil unrest. Okay, but let me get this. I'll go to this
New
video.
pictures just into CNN. A group of armed Trump supporters gathered outside the FBI office in Phoenix, Arizona. Photographs taken this morning showed Trump supporters carrying handguns and assault-style weapons on the street. That is allowed under Arizona's open carry law. One of the demonstrators said they're at that location to support Trump and protest what they call the unlawful search at Mar-a-Lago. This week, the FBI, along with the Department of Homeland Security, issued a joint intelligence bulletin warning of violent threats against federal law enforcement, courts, and government personnel, as well as facilities. Following the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, the Bureau is monitoring an unprecedented number of threats fueled by dangerous statements like these.
This is Gestapo crap, and it will not stand. The Department of Injustice needs to be cleaned out if they're going to start pretending we're some sort of banana republic.
This should scare the living daylights out of American citizens and say, we have got to change our federal government. The way our federal government has gone, it's like what we thought about the Gestapo and people like that.
And see, all this is really not but the problem and reaction. Okay, these devils, they know how to play on the people's emotions, especially when it comes to the so-called amendments, the rights, especially when it comes to these Edomites. Okay, these American Edomites, because now they threaten to take their guns away and, certain rights. Okay, but now, they causing that problem, these elites. And now they starting to see the reaction. And a lot of these events, that these rallies and protests, a lot of them are staged, okay, with, with psyops and agents, provocateurs, okay, to furthermore push the agenda of the elites to come down with strict legislations, okay. But that's what we about to witness, man. A lot of civil unrest, okay, leading to civil war, which is prophecy.
Just go after people. What we thought about Soviet Union, when we look at Latin America, we have got to say to ourselves, this cannot be our country.
There are significant concerns today about the safety of the federal judge who reportedly signed off on the warrant to search Mar-a-Lago. Online violent rhetoric prompting a court in Florida to remove the information about the magistrate judge linked by some media outlets to that warrant. Posts on pro-Trump websites have been calling for the judge's home address to be shared online. Another focus of the threats, the FBI. The Bureau's director speaking to reporters directly addressed the safety of these agents. Listen. I'm always concerned about violence and threats of violence against law enforcement. Any threats made against law enforcement, including the men and women of the FBI, as with any law enforcement agency, are deplorable and dangerous. CNN's Donnie O'Sullivan has been reporting on this violent rhetoric. He joins us live now. Donnie, you track this stuff closely, and you read some of it is quite disturbing. Go into the details and then help me with the context. Is this louder, more threatening than prior to January 6th, or about the same?
It's very, very hard to, of course, kind of measure these things quantitatively. But what we can say is that right after news of that FBI search on Mar-a-Lago broke on Monday, we saw an immediate spike in violent rhetoric online. And if we can bring back up that website, the Southern District of Florida Court's website, up until sometime Tuesday evening, there was a profile of a judge on that site with contact details for the judge's office, clerks, etc. That had to be taken down from that website because there were so many people on these platforms calling for violence against that judge. And of course, it doesn't just relate to the judge. I want to show you some of the threatening message and the rhetoric that have been played out online. Somebody's just posted lock and load in relation to the Mar-a-Lago search, kill all feds, and somebody else saying, I'm just going to say it, Garland needs to be assassinated, simple as that.
The Department of...
Hey, so you see the threats, okay, ever since that whole incident, okay, and in all actuality, Trump, he's an insider too, man, okay, he played the sides of the elites as well, man, okay, even though he playing hardball, okay, but all of them in league together, man. They have these simple Americans to keep believing on the system. And now in this case, these gun-toting Edomites, they're making threats and ready to take a stand against their own government, man. Okay, so it's about to go down, man. And this is what these elites want. And ultimately, this is what the Heavenly Father want, okay, to bring judgment.
Homeland Security and the FBI saying in a joint intelligence bulletin obtained by ABC News that there has already been an increase in threats and acts of violence, including armed encounters against law enforcement, judiciary, and government personnel in reaction to the court-authorized search.
In response to the FBI search at Mar-a-Lago, some Trump supporters have also increased calls for a civil war. Laura Barone Lopez takes it.
Yeah, see, and one thing also, man, Esau, Edom, these elites, they're not entice the people through their media, okay, their news, okay, to influence people when they see, such as this was happening, to anger, okay, to these American Trump supporters or those that for, standing up for their rights, okay, because they're pushing their agenda that they're ready to come down, okay, upon American citizens, man, okay. So expect more and more anarchy to take place.
Deeper look at threats of political violence by elements of the far right.
Those dangerous threats are being fueled by conspiracy theories, as well as the mistrust of the FBI and Justice Department that has been promoted by many Republican politicians. To explain the rising extremism on the right, we're joined by Barbara Walter, professor at University of California at San Diego and author of the book How Civil Wars Start. Barbara, thanks for joining us. Thank you for having me. I want to ask you about the Mar-a-Lago search prompted a lot of Trump supporters to call for civil war. How does this fit into the growing pattern of extremism on the right?
So for those of us who study violent extremism here in the United States, this is not a surprise at all. If you had been on the chat room starting in 2008, you would have seen an
And that's one of their code words too, extremists. Okay, and part of that extremists, when it comes to the extremist groups that they feel like a threat to the government, okay, besides white supremacy, okay, is also, as they call the Hebrew Israelites, us, black identity extremists, and other so-called radical groups they got on their list, man, okay? So this all point towards that more strict legislation in the time of a crackdown by the way of martial law, man, and the tackle on freedom of speech, okay, and the right to bear arms, okay? But here at Great Millstone, we don't teach our congregation or our followers to take up arms, to be militant. Although you got a lot of Israelite camps out there that's in that mind frame, such as Sakari and other individual groups, okay, that's promoting the taking up arms. And all that's going to backfire, man. Okay, the way that the Lord is going to deliver the elect is going to be spiritual. As the scripture says, the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. Okay, but let me continue on.
Increasing narrative that talked about shifting to a more violent strategy if more conventional methods of maintaining power, and by that I mean white power here in this country, didn't work. And so what we're seeing is sort of that narrative moving into the mainstream.
And yesterday, a gunman breached an FBI office in Cincinnati, Ohio, before being killed by authorities. Reports said that he appeared to be at the January 6th insurrection, and he had also previously said he wanted to attack the FBI. When you see these...
Oh, yeah, kind of. Just recently, too, before they invaded Trump, mansion or whatever, his home down there in Florida, you just had a report of individual, okay, that ran his car that was on fire into one of the Capitol buildings barricade, okay, and it supposedly he came out with blazing, okay, shooting, and I guess the report is that they contained him or they put him to death, however it went, okay. But the whole point is that now you're starting to see people uptight, man, getting upset, okay, and ready to bring that civil war against their own government.
Incidents connected to violent rhetoric, what does that say to you?
Yeah, so we know that violent extremism here in the United States has increased consistently since 2008, and it continues to increase quite dramatically. We know that much of the violence is being perpetrated by far-right groups, and we know the profile of those far-right groups. About 65%.
Yeah, you know what happened in 2008 when Barack Obama became president, okay, the so-called first black president. And during that time, a lot of gun sales went up. Okay, you already know who was buying those guns and those ammunition. Edomites. Okay, the fear that they losing their grip on their kingdom since they put a black face as a president to represent this country, man. Okay, but throughout the years that fell. Okay, then Trump came about. Okay, after the 8 years that Barack Obama did. Okay, in the 4-year span that he been president, he tried to bring back that patriotic American ego, okay, to the American citizens, especially these Edomites. And then to have him be taken out of office and put Biden in there, and now you're seeing the results of Biden. It's more and more adding fuel to the fire, man. Okay?
of them are white supremacist groups. About 29% of them are anti-federal government groups, and there's overlap there. But the anti-federal government groups are groups that think that the federal government is illegitimate. If they see it as legitimate, that it has too much power. And the reason they don't want the federal government to have too much power is that federal law overrides state law. And so what we're seeing is an increase in attacks on law enforcement agents and on federal government employees. And so,
and also that's what you have too, man. A lot of law enforcement, when it comes to the police department, are resigning. Okay, leaving the force. Okay, that's only going to lead to more of a reason to bring in martial law. Okay, where there's no policemen or the justice system to hold up the law. Okay, supposedly the law of the justice system. Okay.
of course, the gunman in Cincinnati was targeting the FBI, and that's no coincidence. And I'll say one more thing, that there is a book called The Turner Diaries, and it's considered the Bible of the far right. The Turner Diaries outlines exactly how you would persecute, how you would conduct a civil war against the U.S. government. And the very first thing it says that you should do is to attack the FBI.
Hey, so you're seeing everything being set, man. Now I'm going to get this last one and get a couple of scriptures. And this is off of Dabo 7.
You the heir to this throne, Canaan. It's waiting for you, if you want it.
So that's where our people mind frame at. Looking at, being interested in a TV show like Power, okay, that's showing up but niggerism, man. Okay, how Jake can constantly murder each other, do all type of fraud against each other, adultery, all type of wickedness that he's showing to these black cinema movies or black cinema sitcoms, and then that's a hit amongst our people. Power. And I never liked that show, man. But I'm going to continue on. Just locking.
What's going on, guys? Dabu 7 here. Checking in. Wanted to talk a little bit about what's unraveling right here in front of us. I foresee a series of staged events that are about to break loose, connected with some of the stuff that we've already seen, all tied in to this stuff around Trump. Them going to his place in Mar-a-Lago, taking 11 sets of what they want to say is classified material. We've since seen several staged events, one being at the FBI headquarters in Cincinnati, where a guy showed up with a weapon. They said that they had a shootout with him, all this other stuff. We have seen no video proof of any of these things. They also want to say that a dirty package, an explosive, was to be planted somewhere. Where's the proof, again, besides just saying it? There's never any proof offered up about this. There's never showing us, why didn't you go arrest the person? If you knew that someone was going to do this and you were watching them the whole time, why didn't you stop them? How come that never happens? Huh? How come these guys always seem to have connections back to agents? Well, it seems to me that they've already started the ball rolling. And I would say get ready for a bunch of staged events that are designed to tear this country apart, to send this thing towards civil war all in all. That's what they want. That's what they're trying so hard to try to get out here. And I got to give it to the people out there that have not fell for their tricks thus far. They keep wanting to fall back on saying that these people are going online, calling for violence, citing January 6th. Again, if you knew who these people were, then why didn't you deal with them? It's hard for me to believe that alphabet gangs that sit there and monitor social media 24/7 around the clock don't have the ability to do that when they're out here harassing everyone else constantly about their social media posts. How come you can't catch these guys until it's too late? Well, that's because something is afoot. And I'm warning all of you right now, We're walking in to a new paradigm where these staged events are going to go to a whole new level. They're going to start targeting people, saying they're extremists, they belong to this group, all that stuff. Here it comes. I warned about it years and years ago. We're there now. So get ready, y'all. I'll update with more future videos. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button for more and hit that bell notification as well. It's been Dabu7. Much love, y'all.
Yeah, he, going into what's seen so fishy, leading up to, more and more possible, more stage events that's going to take place. And he said that he was warning people for years. Okay, but hey, in realization, to be real, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone been warning for years, man. Okay, and the rest of the brethren on down. Okay, what's to come? We at this appointed time of civil unrest and all hell is about to break loose. Okay, so there ain't gonna be no excuse, man. Now we starting to see these prophecies being manifest. Okay, so that's it on that. On the videos, it was a little longer. Then I, gave my input on, certain situations that he talking about. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into the scriptures, and I'm gonna start off with let me see, Matthew chapter 24. And this is one of the signs that Yahushua told his disciples to look forward to, okay, of his second coming here in the end days, okay, which consider these times, man. Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And it says, and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. Yeah, we're starting to hear that, okay, wars, okay. And not only we're hearing about civil war, okay, but also what's prophesied in the scriptures, the third world war, okay, and race wars, okay. And it says, see that ye not be troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Yeah, because Yahushua was giving them the warning back then what contains into the future, okay, what's going to happen now, okay. Verse 7, okay, containing his second coming and the salvation of Israel, okay. And it says, verse 7, for nation shall rise against nation, okay, and that's what people, okay, and you're starting to see that, okay, there's going to be race wars, okay, civil war, class wars, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and that's that division, okay, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, and not only that, we seeing the brewing war, okay, but you also see the prophecies of the plagues when they touch into pestilence, earthquakes, famines that's looming, okay, and things that's happening actually now as we'll speak. Okay, so all this is pointing towards Yahweh Bashem Yahushai bringing judgment, okay? And we know that what's the key thing that they want to introduce, okay, according to their agenda, the MOTB, okay, they one of the key prophecy, okay, the micro, the karatma, okay, in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And you're going to have a lot of people resist behind that, okay? Especially, once again, these Edomites, okay, that's in the know, that's paying attention, and that's going to take a stand, okay? Our people, majority of our people, they're going to find out too late, man, okay? And it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows, and we about to enter into that, okay, the beginning of sorrows, okay? But you're seeing the division. Now, let me get this. Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, okay, in the modern day Egypt, Salaki, or the spiritual Egypt today is America, okay, because this place is known as the captivity of us, the Israelites, just as ancient Egypt was under the pharaohs, which were Hamites, okay, the original Africans. But the modern day pharaoh is Esau Edom, that's rooted over here in America, okay, which is known as Egypt. The word Egypt in the Greek means bondage, okay, and this is our modern day bondage for us, the Israelites, this American system being ruled by Esau, Edom. Okay? And so this book is, codified, because you're not actually going to see America in the scriptures. It's codified in subtlitude through different ancient empires, okay, that we can point towards today that is talking about America, because it's take on the customs of these ancient empires, okay? And Egypt is one of the names for America. And it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And so it's going into the American citizens, okay, being separate and it's set up against each other, man. Okay, we just witnessed through those different clips of videos, okay, here in America. Okay, that civil war that's about to be brewing, okay, that's moving forward, man. And this is prophecy. And I would set the Egyptians against the Egyptian, okay, mainly the Edomites against each other, man. And they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what we're witnessing, okay? So that's it on that. Let me see. I'll get this in Second Esdras. I'm gonna go to Second Esdras chapter 13, verse 29. And it says, behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And that's going into the elect, okay? That's going to be delivered. And it starts with the Lord waking his chosen elect up with his word by the teaching of the ministry, okay? By the prophets, okay? That's going to lead to salvation. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. Yeah, that's going to the Lord, going to bring judgment upon the 2/3 of our people and the rest of these heathen nations, man. Okay? That's not exempt from the judgment. Okay? And it says, verse 31, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And so this is the will of Yahweh Shem Shai, okay, to stirring things up from the spiritual realm, okay, and fulfilling his word, okay, through the angels that do his bidding. Okay, you got the angels that sealing the elect and being a guard unto the elect men, women, and children. Okay, then you have the angels as well on the left hand side that's putting the spirit on these people to get ready to take each other out, man. Okay, in cases such as civil wars, race wars, the Third World War. Okay, and other plagues that's going to be taking place, man. Okay, Yahweh Shem Shah controls both life and death. Okay, and right now he's using Esau, Edom on the left hand side, okay, which is the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, to do his bidding, okay, to show us that they're the wicked that the Bible speak of. And even amongst themselves, they starting to see that, okay, these Edomites, these average Edomites, which they're the wicked too, okay, but they even starting to see more of the wickedness in their own government, man, showing you that this place is over with. Okay, matter of fact, that's it on that. Let me get Matthew chapter, 12 and 25. Now this is going into when Yahweh did a miracle back then, that you had the non-believers of our people that scoff and scorn against Yahweh and basically say that, the works that he did, he did it not in the Heavenly Father name or power, but in the name of Beelzebub, okay, which is another name of saying Satan, okay? And once again, we know that Esau, Edom, is coming after the workings of Satan, okay? He's the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, and his action shows that. His actions shows that, man, okay? Because Edom is the wicked that the Bible speak of. But let me read this. Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahweh Shai knew their thoughts and said unto them, okay, that's the true name of the Heavenly Father's Son, Yahweh Shai, okay? And it says, he said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Okay, you're starting to see the desolation of this place because it's being more divided. Okay, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Okay, you see the division amongst the, the houses representatives. You got the left wing, the right wing, the Democrats, the Republican, but they played all of them in the league with serving these elites, man. Okay, it's just the simple ones of the American citizens that talking about they picking a side to fight for. Okay, but that's that division. Okay. Okay, as this scripture continue on. And it says, and if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Okay. Hey, so that's going into how Yahweh Shah say, if he had his power, got his power from Satan, how can he cast out those wicked spirits, okay, that come from the left-hand side of Satan? Okay. But we also use this parable as that Esau, Edom being divided. Okay. Now you're seeing Satan against Satan, Esau, Edom against each other. How can their kingdom stand? Okay, now we're witnessing that. Okay, so that's it on that. And I'll get this. I'll get ready to close out. I'm gonna go to 2nd Esdras chapter 15. And 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and 16 is speaking more and more clearer every day, man. 2nd Esdras chapter 15, verse 14. And it says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. The word woe means destruction. Okay. And that's the Lord's judgment. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Okay. So explain itself. Destruction. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And the sword represents a killing instrument. Okay. And once again, the blessing of Esau, Edom, okay, is the sword. Okay, and a modern day sword, besides the military, okay, that this government have, is even unto these average American citizens, okay, it's their guns. Okay, because a gun is a killing instrument. Okay, and it can be described as a sword in the scriptures. Okay, because you're not going to actually see when Esdras saw this, he actually couldn't describe the terminology of a gun. So he used what the best thing you can do of a killing instrument, what it was best known for, what was best known for as a killing instrument, the sword. Okay, and you were literally going to have people with swords and all type of weapons they have, but the main one is the guns. Okay, that's what's going to be taking place here in these times. Okay, and that's the #1 killing instrument in these days, man. Okay, the guns, especially here in America. Okay, with gun violence at an all-time high amongst all these heathen nations and including 2/3 of our people. Okay, and it says, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Okay, for there shall be sedition among men. The word sedition means uproars. Okay, and it says, and evading one another. Okay, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. Okay, so that's what you're seeing. The kings and princes, the modern day kings and princes are going into their governors. Okay, the presidents, the mayors, the senators. Okay, law enforcers. Okay, and these people are going to take matters in their own hand. Okay, when sedition and uproars amongst these people take place, man. Okay, they ain't going to worry about the law. Okay, and therefore it's going to be a reaction of civil war. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. And that's the term going into martial law. Okay, checkpoints, troops portrayed into different parts of the cities, states. Okay, setting up barricades and, like I say, checkpoints and travel bans, curfews. Okay, that's how it's about to be. And it says, and man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, And men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So that's how bad it's going to be. Okay, a lot of people are going to be judged, man. Okay, when all hell break loose, man. A lot of men, women, and children of all nations. And the Lord said he's going to start off at the house of Israel first. Okay, due to the wickedness of our people not want to repent and not going to turn back and to serve their true power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and acknowledging their heritage and not acknowledging the prophets. Okay, so a lot of our people are going to be judged, man. The 2/3 of our people, man, men, women, and children. Okay, and that's how it's going to be. That's what we out here to preach, man, to give that warning. Okay, because this world will always talk that the God of the Bible is all love. Okay, he's all good. Okay, but they don't understand when you read these scriptures and you get the true interpretation of it, that Yahweh Shema Shai is to be feared, and that he always just when it comes against the wicked of our people and the heathens, man. Okay, that's contrary to his ways, man. And that's what we about to be introduced to. Okay, the wrath for Yahweh Shema Shai. Okay, but us, the hopeful elect, we see it coming. Okay, and majority of our people, although the Lord already showing signs and showing judgment, we coming to the point of the beginning of sorrows, man. We coming to the point of the Lord intensifying it even more to ultimately when Yahweh shall return with the host of angels to bring salvation to the elect of the nation of Israel, and 2/3 of our people right along with these heathens here in America, starting with Esau, Edom, they're going to be destroyed, man, with their beloved America, Babylon the Great, when this place to be destroyed ultimately by the way of thermonuclear fire, okay, by the hands of Russia, okay, and all these other nations got nuclear capability. But before that, the salvation of Yahweh Shai for the elect and the kingdom being established, okay, all hell is going to be breaking loose, man. And we about to witness that, and part of that hell breaking loose of that chaos is civil unrest. So I'm going to go ahead and end the video here, and I pray that this video is edifying. Matter of fact, let me get one more. Just came into my mind, Salaki. I'm going to go to the book of Luke, chapter 12, verse 49, real quick. Because like I said, a lot of people think that the Lord is all love, including his son. Okay, they think Yahweh Shah came to die for all nations, to bring all nations together. No, man, Yahweh Shah only came and died for the nation of Israel, and that's starting with the redemption of the elect. Okay, and Yahweh Shah ain't coming to bring peace to all nations. Okay, the Lord come back to bring war and judge. And only the ones that are going to get the peace is the elect. Luke chapter 12, verse 49. I am come to send fire on the earth. What will I if it be already kindled? So Yahweh Shah already coming back to bring fire with the chariots, okay, with the world called UFOs, and also those nuclear missiles being launched. But before that fire come, it already gonna be fire, okay, here on the earth, okay, due to the chaos and the riots, the wars, okay, and that's only gonna be kindled compared to the fire that Yahweh Shema Shah is gonna bring through those missiles and the chariots, man. So Yahweh Shema Shah coming with fire, man. Verse 50. But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Yeah, because Yahweh Shah went through hell, man. Okay, before he went on the cross, okay, and to be a sacrifice for the nation of Israel, man. Okay, and his baptism was what? To call the elect at that time, to gather the disciples. Eventually there came apostles and teach this word to the believers, which was the elect back then. And the 2/3 of our people that was against him, okay, that part of that baptism, okay, that he had to, be straitened with, okay. But eventually, okay, now we're in the time where Yahweh Shai about to redeem the elect and bring judgment upon the 2/3, okay, and now it's about to be accomplished to the fullest now. Verse 51, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, I tell you nay, but rather division. So that's what's coming, man. Okay, division. Okay, and that's what we about to witness. Okay, civil unrest, race wars, okay, clash wars, okay, war, okay, and that's what Yahweh Bashim shall come at to bring, man. So once again, I'm gonna go ahead and end off by giving all praises unto Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim, Rakak Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone that teach and rule well today, and salutation also to the fellow laborers in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide. And I pray once again that it lets me edifying to the ones out there listening. Until the next time, Shalom to the house of David, which also known as the elect of Yahweh Shai. Until next time, once again, Shalom.